Hi, it's Eliana. So today I'm going to do an energetic vibrational reading of what's happening in the world, what's happening frequency wise, what's going on. So, what I'm getting is there's a lot of changes happening, there's a lot of shifts going on. Things are ramping up energetically, physically, things are moving forward very quickly. Old systems are falling apart, things are breaking down, old secrets are crumbling. Literally, just old systems, ways that no longer work, are not coming with us forwards. We are not progressing backwards in terms of secrets being kept hidden and things not opening up. Things are opening up more quickly. Things are moving. It may seem like we are moving in the wrong direction even, but we are moving in things, literally what's not supposed to exist anymore, breaking down, completely falling apart. This is connected to everything interpersonal, inner self, outer self, examining everything from 360-degree angles, taking everything apart, looking at things from an examination point of view, seeing what serves you and what works for you. And if it works, great, you can keep it. And if something doesn't work for you and it's falling apart, you either fix it or you let it go and move on, depending on what the situation is, where you are in life, what's happening with you, your life, your close relationships, your inner circles, who are you connecting with, who is around you, who are you with? Are your relationships working well or not? Everything is being looked at very closely and examined. The energies, the frequencies, the physicality, the soul. What is the soul looking for? Are you in a good relationships? Do you trust your inner circle? Do you have people you can trust? How are you doing with your friends, with your family? How are things going on? This is a very energetic, frequency-based time in 2023, examining everything, sometimes taking things apart piece by piece and rebuilding what needs to be rebuilt, or completely just starting from scratch, starting over, clean slate. Again, that can be connected to homes, land, families, relationships, connections with friends, loved ones. It could pertain to anything. The energetic frequencies are moving very quickly, progressing, sometimes even moving more quickly than we want it to be or what we're comfortable with. But again, everything that is old and not working is being exposed. Secrets, betrayals, things that are hidden, things that are not working in friendships, relationships, anything that was not being told to you as truth, things that were held back from you, things that happened behind your back, things like betrayals, those are all coming up to the surface to be dealt with. Whether you completely let it go, so whether you completely let it go and walk away, or you choose to deal with it, that's up to every one of us, how we deal with things. But things are coming up specifically for us to get resolution to what we haven't been able to finish, to finally get a resolution, to have peace and move forwards and not backwards. This is the energetics that we're in right now in this year of exploring ourselves, finding ourselves, getting understanding of who we are and who we are connected to. Anything that is not working for us, if for some reason You're in a difficult life situation. You've been abused. You've been manipulated. You've been bullied. You've been harassed. Right now is the energy frequency where you deal with that, where you work through it, where you get resolution, and you have a chance to be free of that, of those energies, of control systems collapsing, and us no longer being controlled by something that has been a pattern in our lives, repeating over and over again. Those patterns are being broken, demolished. Literally, the walls coming down. Those walls, those brick walls falling apart. And that can be connected to people around you who have mistreated you, who have abused you, who haven't shown you the respect that you deserve for the hard work that you've done, whether with colleagues, friends, family, or you've been ignored, somebody hasn't listened to you, somebody has just put you aside and just not given you the credit that you deserve for the hard work that you did. You are able to acknowledge at this time that you're worth it, that your self-worth is important, that you can love yourself, you can respect yourself, and you don't have to put up with being controlled, manipulated, abused, or harassed, or bullied. There's no excuse for those types of heavy-handed energies where people just get to walk all over you or somebody else that you care about, and there's no consequences for that. They just get to do it. That no longer works. That old energy of dominance and control and manipulation, that is collapsing. It may seem like it's the darkest night of the chaos that we're going through, but this is to release us from hidden chains of slavery and control systems, literally. It's crashing down and falling apart. That's the frequency and the energy. Anything that's not working, it is going to fall apart. We can try to fix it, we can try to mend it, but if it's not meant to be, it'll crumble. If the foundations are not strong enough, they will not continue to sustain themselves because they're meant to fall apart for something better to come in, to build a brighter future, to clear negative energies out, clean it up from top to bottom, bottom to top, clean it all out. Clean house. This is happening with people, with life situations, with the whole world. Everything is ramping up energetically to clean house. Whether we like it or not, whether we're comfortable with it or not, we are facing the most challenging situations in our lives right now to get clarity, to get understanding, to tie up loose ends, to finish something that we need to finish, reconcile with someone, deal with a situation that's too hard on us, or let it go and walk away, completely cleaning the energy and disconnecting with those people who've caused us pain and heartache and trouble, someone or an organization, people in your life that are not respecting you, disrespecting you, not listening to you, ignoring you. We are dealing with those people. We are dealing with those organizations and situations and saying, enough is enough. You've done this to me. I need time now to think about it. And this is what I'm going to do for myself. This is what I am going to do for me to figure out what's working for me and what's not working for me, what's right and what's not. And what are my boundaries? What is my self-respect here? And not letting others abuse us, not letting others step on us anymore. Don't let anybody step on you. Don't let anybody control you, manipulate you, dictate to you. If somebody is imposing rules on you that does not fit you, something in the mirror, when you're looking in the mirror, somebody's sending you something that's not yours and dictating to you, you don't have to take that personally and take it on to yourself. Those are not your energies to work through. You can release that and let it go and give the other person time and space to figure out their own stuff if they need time, and just not engage in that kind of energetic frequency or game or whatever it is. You can just allow yourself to walk away if you can. If you can't resolve it, just let it go. Allow yourself the ability and the energy to let it go and step away, and not let that pattern of whatever it was in your life continue itself forwards. You have the ability to say no. You have the ability to stop what you don't want in your life. And you have the ability to have free will, sovereign free will choice, to treat yourself with respect, love, and kindness, and treat others with the same, that how you would want to be treated, with decency, authenticity, honesty, morals, ethics, all of it. You don't have to compromise and put yourself on the back seat, on the back burner. You can be whoever you want to be, being in your light, being in your sovereign self, working on yourself, the soul growth, that soul expansion. This is the energy that we're in, and the opportunity is here for soul expansion, soul growth, to examine the soul, to search out your inner self and do what's right for you. Do the right thing for yourself, to be your genuine, authentic self, and not somebody else that others are sometimes trying to make you into, or trying to make you fall into their rules, their guidance, their systems. If something isn't working for you in a system, in a belief, in whatever system that is there, you can walk away from it. You don't have to say yes and stay there. That's not resonating with you. If that no longer works for you, if it doesn't work, sometimes we need to let it go, set it free, and you have the freedom to be free. You have the choice and the choices. Sometimes it's hard to see opportunities of what freedom looks like, or stepping aside, stepping forward, and choosing your own path, choosing to protect yourself and be safe, and guided by your own intuitive inner wisdom for what is good for you, what is best for you, for your soul, for your well-being, for your health, for your feeling good. Mind, body, and soul, sanity, a good vibration, a good energy, the path that is yours, your unique path to explore of what you're meant to do, to help yourself, to improve yourself, to guide yourself, trusting your truth, trusting your wisdom, trusting that you are the best you can be. You are good enough. You are great. You are beautiful. You are loved. And you deserve to be treated with respect. Not put down, not belittled, not told you're not good enough, you should change, do this, do that. If somebody cannot change, you are hitting against a brick wall trying to change them. If that's not working, if it's not for your highest good or the other person's, they're not going to change because they are who they are. And if they can't change, you have the option to not continue to be associated with that energy of stubbornness, whatever it is. You don't have to participate in something you don't want to be in anymore. Not situation, not people, not relationships. You are free to be you and walk away if you need to make the best decisions for yourself, to be guided towards freedom and not to be in control systems. not to be in those control systems anymore that control you. This is the chance to change things for yourself and others and step out of the shadows, step out of the stuff that no longer works for you, that is not of the highest good, and have opportunities to make your own choices, to follow your creativity, your soul happiness, and soul exploration, to be at your best, to be happy, to be loved, to be cared for, and to be respected and honored for who you are and the good things you bring to this world. We are also being given the chance to see people for who they truly are, our friends, our loved ones, ourselves, the inner soul, the soul signature, the soul frequency, and see everything from that frequency for what it is and what it's not, to understand ourselves better and other people who are connected to us, whether they're right for us or not anymore. And sometimes people could be two-faced. Sometimes people can be interfering. People might not have the best at heart in what they mean towards you and with you. So, just knowing who the person is, knowing what they are, what they do, how they behave, how they are behind closed doors when they're not with you. Are they kind? Are they respectful? Do they say good things about you, nice things? Or are they tearing you down behind your back, gossiping, saying awful things about you that are not true, that are lies? What kind of people are we connected to? Work-wise, friendship-wise, relationships, soul family. What are we working with? Who are these people? Are they good for us or not so good for us? This is what we're given the chance and the opportunity to look at, to re-examine things, to change. If something's not working in relationships, it doesn't have to stay the same. Same old. You can change it. If it's not working for you, either you address it head on or you let it go and you give yourself the freedom to explore what you want next for yourself. With new friendships, with new relationships, with family, it is about your comfort. It is about your feeling good. And if it doesn't feel good, if it doesn't resonate anymore, it can be set free. It does not have to stay the same way anymore. If you don't want it to stay that way, you can change it. Again, you do not have to let it stay the same way. If it's not working, if it feels wrong, if it feels bad, if in your gut you know that something is wrong and it's not for you anymore, don't let it just passively go on and happen again and again. Break the cycle. Stop it. Allow the patterns to be broken so they're not repeated, so you're not mistreated. If you don't feel like somebody in your circle is genuinely truthful with you, or they're playing games or have agendas, they're envious, their ego is taking over, whatever, narcissistic behavior, bullying, abuse, making us the victims, making us out to be something we're not, putting words in our mouth, accusing us. If that's happening in your life, if that's not working for you, you don't have to stay in that kind of a relationship. You don't have to be abused. You don't have to be the victim or allow somebody to be a perpetrator in your life. If it's not working and you can walk away, allow yourself the time and the safety to do it, to think about it, to understand it, and then release yourself from that energy. If it doesn't work anymore, you don't have to be there and stay for it. You can let it go and walk away. This is the energy of this year, to allow ourselves that time and that freedom of the self-expression of the soul divine beings that we are, to be free, to be in our energetic freedom and the ability to choose what's right for us. Truly, truly, truly right for us on the soul, on that soul divine level. And to be able to see what is right for us, to be guided and to appreciate ourselves and to love ourselves for the beautiful, blessed beings that we are. Always have been, always will be. I would hope that we have room for compassion, room for forgiveness, understanding, and that we can be good human beings that treat each other well, that we're not cold, we're not heartless, and that we actually help each other and respect each other and try to understand what people are going through. Unless we walked in their shoes, we really don't know. And let's try not to judge anybody and just be kind and helpful to each other. Like, honestly, not putting on a fake act, but truly caring for each other and helping to make the world a better place without judgment, without antagonizing each other, without that agitation, triggering antagonization, anger, fear. Those are things that create energies that are not so good in this world. And I would hope that we can go beyond that and actually care for each other. Genuinely, truly care for each other. Not the fake faces, not the fake masks, not the fake acts, but actually caring for one another out of true, genuine respect, not being fake or cold or ignoring others, especially trying also to listen to others when somebody's saying something important to you, to recognize that that person is trying to say something and not shutting them down. That's also important. That change is coming in this world where people are not being ignored, where people are being recognized for who they are, for the goodness in them, and also some people might not be so good, and those people are also seen for what they are and why they are the way they are, and it's okay. A lot of people have soul wounding. A lot of people have fear and doubts in life because of whatever happened to them. They might have been broken, they might have been wounded, they might have been betrayed. So forgiveness and honesty and respect, giving those people time to heal, it's so important. That's what this energy is also all about, forgiveness and healing. Working through things, working through whatever we need to work through to release those energies that we don't need to be in anymore, to be in better places energetically, physically, on the soul, the mind, and the body, all of it, to feel good, to feel happy, to be healed, to be forgiven, to be understood, and to be loved. Also, not let anybody who acts like a tyrant walk all over us, to not let people treat us badly just because they can or think they can, or control us or boss us around. We don't have to live that way, in that energy, in that forceful energy of control and somebody trying to step all over us. We don't have to be in that frequency. It does not serve us any longer. It no longer works that way. We are working towards being equals, to be heard, to be understood, and to not allow people to bully us for being different, for being special, for being unique, creative. Allowing that to be recognized and appreciated for what it is. Because we're all unique, we're all special, we're all beautiful and are in our own ways. and that should be respected, and that should be acknowledged. Everybody should be treated with kindness. There shouldn't be inequality between people in this world, because that creates these boundaries and these hierarchical systems of control. The patriarchy, the matriarchy, the rulerships, the dictatorships, the tyranny, the slavery. Those are old systems, and greed, envy, jealousy, old systems breaking down and falling apart, because we need something better than that, so that we don't end up in dark places or live in darkness and chaos. We're going towards the light, not towards the darkness at this time. That's why these systems are breaking down, because they don't work anymore. They don't serve the light. They're not of the light. So that's going away. The energies of trauma, pain, and suffering, those things come from the old systems and current systems that are falling apart, because we should not be suffering. We should not be in pain and trauma or stress, constantly worrying about where our next meal is coming from, if we can afford to keep our house and pay for things and afford to have a good lifestyle, to live where we want to. We should not have to worry about any of that. Those are the rights and freedoms we have to live, to be free, to be happy. It's not anything that should be controlled by systems in our lives, our freedom. Not to be brainwashed, not to be mind controlled as well. To live your life with that free thinking, to be yourself, to be who you are, your genuine true self, in purity and love and kindness. Not the fake love and light. I care about you, but I really don't. Not that. That is just not genuine, but actual love and light, where people do care about each other and truly support each other. Genuine helping, not just saying it or thinking about doing it, but actually doing it and working together to make a difference in the world, to help to save the world, to save humanity, the animals, the plants, the planet itself, this beautiful world that we live in, so that it is there for others, not just in the present, but in the future as well. Without pollution, without greed, without war, famine, without destruction. A beautiful planet that sustains us in the way we live here. Our children, our animals, our plants, us, that we're here, that we live and thrive in beauty and harmony and love and peace, true everlasting peace, without darkness taking us over from above and below. Just peace, heaven on earth. That is what we're striving towards, and hopefully going towards, in the light, in the true frequency of the highest light. Some of the energetic aspects also coming in with the shift, with these shift changes, is, are we in total trust and truth with ourselves and others? Are we honoring ourselves in the self-respect that we want to have for ourselves, and in turn have others treat us with the same self-respect? Are we able to be patient, loving and kind with ourselves, being kind and compassionate to ourselves, not judging ourselves, not playing the shame game, the guilt game, the what if games, releasing that heavy energy, doing the work, focusing on healing, focusing on resolutions to solve problems and not make something worse from what it originally started with. understanding and compassion and just patience with ourselves and others, to understand what's happening, to practice discernment as well. Why is something happening? What's going on? What can we do to help? How can we resolve things peacefully and beautifully without conflict, without drama, trauma, and pain? Not engaging in these old cycles that create more problems than they do to solve them. Getting out of those old game sets. This is the energy frequency that is here now to change that, to help us communicate better with each other, to lead by example, to do better, to do good, to be better, and not expect somebody to bring us down or put us down or talk about us behind our back like nothing ever happened, and them showing up being two-faced, being all nice and buddy-buddy with you when in reality that's not what they're doing behind your back. That kind of behavior is not acceptable. And I'm seeing that a lot. And backstabbing, just attacking other people in the public, privately, that's not acceptable. That's an old energy field that is gossipy, full of the rumor mill. They did this, they did that. Woe's me, the victim mentality, the perpetrator mentality. It is painful to see that happening, to hear it happening. It does happen, and it's unfortunate. The blame game, the guilt, the shaming, that's all something that is part of weakness, that is part of not understanding or misunderstandings happening. A lot of miscommunication, misunderstanding something, and just trying to work through that and deal with it in the best honorable way that we can. Not letting in that dark, negative, heavy aspect come in to these frequencies of change, actually making change happen for the better. Not just talking about it, but doing it, living it, being a better example of enlightenment, of soul evolution, soul growth, capacity, the capacity to change and evolve beautifully. This is part of these changing frequencies. And telling the truth and being honorable and honest with yourself and others. Just being truthful and being your genuine self. Some people will like you for who you are and some people won't. But be your genuine true self and your honesty and your kindness, your respect for yourself and others. That is what this change is all about as well. We no longer have to listen to the lies or the fake truths. We don't have to take that in within ourselves and let that frequency live with us. We can learn the truth. We can process the truth. We can figure out what's acceptable to us and what's not acceptable to us. And if it's not the truth and it doesn't resonate, it doesn't have to stay with us anymore. That societal dogma of you have to fit into society and go along with the flow of the norm. That's the old norm. The new norm is us being our genuine selves and not suppressing ourselves and who we truly are. As long as we're beautiful, loving, decent people, we can share truth, we can share honesty. And if somebody doesn't like that truth, again, they don't have to stick around to hear it or listen to it. If it doesn't resonate with them, they can go somewhere else and be with people that they fit in with. It is finding our soul tribes, finding our soul families, friends, those that resonate with us and will treat us kindly and lovingly, not judge us, to be treated with respect. Even if we have differing differences, we might not agree on all things. We might have different lifestyles, do things differently. As long as we are open and honest in sharing how we feel and how we do things and having that respected and our boundaries and ethics understanding each other in those things and good open communication, just helping each other understand each other with respect and kindness. This is so important right now. This is what we're working on for that positive change coming in, working together, not working against each other, not causing a divide and conquer mentality, but a shift of open, honest communication, working together as a community in unity, not in separation. You, me, and that separate other thing. No, we're shifting from that. We're shifting into unity, a frequency of love, peace, and kindness, actually vibrating at that frequency to raise the frequency higher within ourselves and helping others to do that as well on a better path in life, in the universe, and in all creation. As well, the blame game of pointing fingers at each other and just expecting somebody to say, I'm sorry, I was wrong, it was my fault, when it wasn't somebody's fault. That's not going to work either anymore. If you didn't do anything wrong, if you did not create a situation where you're at fault, you don't need to acknowledge the pointing finger game and have to say, I'm sorry. If you didn't do it and somebody's over projecting their own fears, attitudes, misunderstandings, confusions at you, you can say, I'm not doing that. I'm not creating a problem here. I acknowledge what you said to me, but that's not what's happening here. You can say that to diffuse the situation. If there's a misunderstanding about what was said, what was done, miscommunication happens all the time. You can acknowledge it. I understand what you're thinking, and I didn't do this, and I had no plans of doing any such thing. You can explain yourself in the context of things, but if you did not do anything wrong, you don't have to be the first one to say, I'm sorry. I know saying I'm sorry actually helps to diffuse a problem in a situation, but sometimes it doesn't help to do that when something is way out of context and you didn't do anything wrong. So it actually doesn't help to say I'm sorry or please forgive me if you didn't create the problem in the first place in interactions with someone or in groups, working with someone, personal relationships. If something went wrong and something happened where you are responsible for an issue that you created, of course, take responsibility. Of course, apologize, say I'm sorry, or forgive somebody for something. But if you didn't directly cause the problem or the issue, you can be honest with the person how you feel about what's going on, but you are not responsible for making them feel better by apologizing first for what you didn't create. There's a time and a place for apologies and forgiveness. If forgiveness and an apology is needed, then of course do so, because hopefully we all take responsibility for our actions, how we behave, how we interact with ourselves and others, even apologizing to ourselves and saying, I love you, I love myself, I apologize to myself for whatever harm I may have done to myself or caused trauma and pain. I forgive myself. I release this energy, this frequency. I don't want this energy in my field anymore. I forgive myself. I love myself. I apologize to myself. We are so hard on ourselves these days because there's a lot of situations in life that cause pain, that cause stress, that cause worry. And we should be able to forgive ourselves and let it go so it doesn't sit there in the field, in our energy field, and just fester and create more issues for us. So forgiving yourself and others, that's so important. Having that understanding of that patience, and that also giving time for yourself and others to think about things, to heal, and to maybe come back with a compromise. Yes, I said this. Yes, you said that. Yeah, maybe it wasn't so good to say it and it's not the greatest energy. It's let's agree to disagree and move on from this. Even a neutral path of compromise where you both agree that both of you weren't in the wrong, because sometimes you're both not in the wrong, but things are said from two different perspectives that need to be understood and acknowledged. Just coming back to the table and compromising together. I said this, you said that. Yes, I acknowledge what you said, and I'm trying to understand you from your perspective, where you're coming from. I think you are right on this, this, and this. Maybe you aren't right on this, this, and this, but let's compromise and reach a neutral perspective of compromise and understanding each other, where you're both coming from which points and why, talking it out honestly to reach a good, amicable compromise. If it's appropriate to reach a compromise, sometimes it may not, and you both need to walk away. That's fine too, whatever works for whatever situation is going on. The energies are coming up to create resolutions for conflicts, to create resolutions for misunderstandings. Sometimes compromise is the best way to do it. Trying to understand where people are coming from and what's going on. To not feel like we're the victims, or to not feel sorry for ourselves if we truly understand what's happening and how to reach a resolution for it. To reach that resolution in an amicable way that is peaceful, that is kind and loving and caring towards all parties involved. Because being kind, loving, and compassionate, and patient, that helps to figure things out, to not be in anger, frustration, or ridicule or judgment in others, to not sit in judgment of others or oneself, to see the bigger picture for what it is, not create more conflict, but resolve it peacefully, so that it's a good positive polarity frequency and not a negative one that is in the soul field, in the soul signature of everyone involved in whatever's happening with you and others. Peaceful, amicable resolution, not drama, trauma, and suffering. Those are old fields, those are old energies being cleared. Understanding each other, communicating well with each other in love, kindness, and respect is where we're going. For that harmony, that peace, that balance and groundedness with oneself and with others. That is the energy coming in. That's so beautiful. Sometimes as our soul resonance vibration moves up and awakens to its highest possibilities and potentials, we might resonate on a different frequency, and the people around us, friends, family, they can be on a different energetic journey path, and they might walk away or disappear for a time and then come back into our lives or not, depending on that soul evolution frequency field that we're resonating on, because this is soul evolution. We are evolving, we are moving forward in the frequency, and people might be seeing different things energetically, experiencing different things, and that's okay. Life journey paths could be similar, could be different. We always learn from those that we connect with, family, friends, loved ones. We always learn something important, beautiful, and unique for the time that we have with them. We learn something that we need for our life, that was meant to be part of our lives. Lessons, advice, projects, missions, those interconnected pieces of reality that those people brought to us for something important that we needed to work with them on. And it's important to thank those people for what they brought to our life, to understand it, to take in what is important and let go of what is no longer working or serving you. To be grateful for the time that we had with these people who helped us out, who were in our life to be there for us, and continue to explore our journey and our path of evolution, to just be thankful, grounded, and be in peaceful love with those who have helped us and been in our life for whatever time period they were there with us, as they supported us, as they guided us, and we learned something from them and they learned something from us. It was an exchange of energy, frequency, time, and sharing. And then sometimes we go our separate ways as we evolve, as we progress, as we journey forwards with respect, honor, and dignity for ourselves and others, as we are in an ever expanding, growing community of soul beings coming together, working together, exploring, learning, evolving. It's a beautiful, great experience and a great time to understand who we are as souls and understand others and what they contribute to us on an emotional level, on a physical level, on a soul divine growth level, spiritual level of growing and understanding and evolving. Just such a interesting energetic frequency. Also letting those people grow and evolve and have the time that they need to experience their life journeys and perspectives and see where we're at. Just this beautiful journey in life. Inspiration, ideas, creativity, they come from the most interesting of places to explore soul evolution, soul growth, where your ideas of potentialities come from. For example, what have you wanted to do for the longest time? Build a fairy garden. So you see in your mind's eye, what does the fairy garden look like? What types of plants are there? What types of beings are there? Statues? Is there a fairy house there? How do you imagine your garden looking like? Is it full of green plants? Is it full of different colored plants? How vibrant is it? What do you see as the creative aspect within that imaginative field of what you're creating on the energetic level and then on the physical level? How does that look like? What frequency of vibration is it carrying and creating? What is your highest creativity, expression of your creativity? What is in that fairy garden? What do the beings look like? What do the plants look like? The gnomes, the dwarfs, the fairies, the flowers, the plants, the trees, the fairy house, and where will your fairy garden be? Where will you plant it? What is the frequency that it will carry? How does it inspire you to be creative in your plans of making this beautiful, magical place, that little heaven on earth, that little creative expression of who you are in all your beauty and expression of life? Your highest creativity, your highest imagination is your greatest creation, because you put your heart and soul into it and you create the most beautiful of things to explore in life with love and with joy and happiness. Thank you so much, and namaste.